Hello, everybody. Hello. I am Sharvette Mitchell, and I'm going to be your host for the next 2 hours here on Amazon Live. I'm super excited to be here with you in an author showcase, author spotlight for the upcoming book. Pearls. Yes. You're going to get to meet almost all of the co-authors today. So it's going to be an exciting time here on Amazon Live. We're also sneaking and multi-streaming in a couple other places as well. Again, I'm Sharvette Mitchell, and I'm the owner of Mitchell Productions, lead marketing consultant, and we work with small businesses and entrepreneurs all around their marketing, their visibility, and their visual branding. And one of the things that we do is we produce book collaborations in partnership with our clients. And so you'll see on Amazon down below where you have the opportunity to check out some of our past collaborations, such as Propel. This is so amazing. This book for emerging women in business and leadership. You can check that out down below, produced by Mitchell Productions. Our second book collaboration, Pour, is available to you. And this book is so great. This is The Secret Effects of Giving and Serving in Leadership. So who did you pour into, and who poured into you to help you get where you need to be? This is an amazing book collaboration that's available right here on Amazon. And then certainly Pursue, our last collaboration that's available down below. I love this. Chase your goals and run after your passions in business, life, and all the things. And so if you're in pursuit of anything, definitely check out Pursue. Again, available down below here on Amazon Live. And we are super excited because all of the co-authors in this new collaboration, Pearls, they are dynamic. Let me just tell you who you're going to get to hear from today. So we're going to be kicking off our author spotlights with our co-author, Erika Brooks, and she has an amazing chapter in Pearls called "The Pearls My Family Left." So you're going to get to hear from her. Then we're going to slide on over to Patricia Witherspoon-Dyer, and she is here, and her chapter is "You're Worth the Investment." Oh, you want to hear all about it. Then we'll be talking to co-author Dr. Tamara Dias, and her chapter is "Some People Never Arrive, Embracing Your Unique Gifts." Then we'll talk to Valarie Harris, and her chapter in Pearls is all about stepping up and stepping out of your comfort zone. Then we'll be talking to Kathy Staten, one of our co-authors, and her chapter is "You Can Be Dynamic Despite Dysfunction." Then we'll roll on over into the virtual studio and continue our discussions about Pearls. And we're going to feature LTomay Varlack-Butler, and her chapter is "The Death of Cinderella. Let's sort the situation out." I know your taste buds are tingling now. You're intrigued. Then we'll be talking to Penny McPherson. Her chapter in Pearls is "Riding the Waves of Wellness." Hear all about it. We have co-author Carmen Jimenez-Pride that's going to be joining us here during the Amazon Live. "Beautiful, Brilliant, and Broken." That is her chapter in Pearls. And then we will wrap the day up, last but certainly not least, with the amazing Natalie Bryan, and her chapter is "Diamonds from Pearls." So we are excited for all of our co-authors that are going to be joining us here on Amazon Live. Again, we're excited to have you with us. So go ahead and comment on Amazon now. The book is not available yet on Amazon. So if you're looking for it, you want to check that out with one of your favorite co-authors. You can pre-order. It's available for pre-order. So just connect with your favorite co-author to get your pre-order in. And again, welcome to those that are all around coming in. We sneaked in some multi-streaming, some simulcasting coming in. Thank you, Rita Stewart, saying congratulations, ladies, for those that are being featured here with Pearls. So I'm super excited. Listen, and Rita is actually a author that just commented in Pearls. So she is here. Listen, I'm excited because Cookie Footman, I see you here. She's one of the co-authors from one of our books as well. I got to shout out my mom. Hey, mom, thanks for being here. All right. We again are excited to have you. So go ahead and share the link out with a friend. Again, we're going to be here for like 2 hours. So keep it locked. Some of you might be multitasking and all of that. But let's go ahead and get ready to get started and jump into our first feature and our first spotlight with Erika. Here we go.
The book collaboration, Pearls, is a collection of advice and guidance for women who want to excel in various areas of their life, career, and business. In this engaging combination of intimate stories, thought-provoking guidance, strategic advice, and practical tips, 11 emerging leaders share pearls of wisdom. By the time you finish reading Pearls, you'll walk away with a collection of invisible pearl necklaces that will make you feel empowered. You will have a renewed sense of direction and confidence to face what's next for you. Order your copy of Pearls today.
All right. We are excited to be chatting with one of our co-authors of Pearls. We have Erika Brooks hanging out with us. She is coming up right now live here with us on Amazon Live. Erika, how are you doing?
I am great. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, girl, hey. We are so excited that you are a part of this book collaboration. And so before I get too far ahead of myself, definitely want to make sure that our audience and our viewers know a little bit about you. So could you share just a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So I am Erika Brooks. I am a licensed professional counselor here in Richmond, Virginia. I am licensed to provide professional counseling throughout the state of Virginia and looking forward to several other states. I'm also a certified substance abuse counselor. I primarily work with women and girls 13 and above, but I do work with some men, and I work with just a few younger than 13.
Wow. So certainly thank you for transformational work that you are doing, like day in and day out. So busy schedule and all, seeing clients and things, but you found some time to write your chapter for this book collaboration, Pearls. And I love your chapter, The Pearls My Family Left. And so tell us a little bit about like your writing process. How was it writing for you?
Oh boy, in the beginning, it was a little nervous because this is my first time being an author. So yes, I am an author.
Yay!
But I thoroughly enjoyed the process. It was very cathartic for me. And to take a moment to think about how my family and all the experiences in my life have shaped me. So I'm so excited for everyone to read my chapter and hopefully learn a few nuggets from it.
Yeah. And did it feel like a arduous task, or did it easily flow for you?
Once I started with the centering, taking some time, several days before I really, really got into writing it, just to jot down whatever thoughts I had, practicing my journaling skills. That
Yeah.
helped me a lot in my writing process. So making the different subtopics in the chapter and then just taking time to write each one felt very cleansing and started to come with ease. It was a great journey for me.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so many pearls of wisdom, pun intended, audience, pearls of wisdom and nuggets in your chapter. And so there was a couple I wanted to just pull out and have you kind of talk a little bit more about. And certainly book is available for pre-order. So if you're connected with Erika, yay, go ahead and pre-order.
Please pre-order.
Yes. So you talk about the power of the word no. Why do we have difficulty saying no?
I will be honest, I have struggled with that for many years. I love to help people. I love to do whatever I can for other people, but it can be very draining if you don't take that moment to say no. we are people pleasers.
Yeah.
We want to make people happy. But you have to learn sometimes when to say no and how to say no. And I love to tell my clients that no is a complete sentence. You don't have to give any explanation. You take that moment to say no and take care of yourself.
But we feel like we want to give an explanation, Erika. It's like, no, because I can't do it because.
And sometimes there is no explanation. Sometimes it's just no. If we have an explanation and you're one of those people that you've got to tell them why, then certainly do so. But it is okay to say simply no. And it's not mean. It's not anything negative. It's simply just saying what's best for you.
No. So you'll hear more about that in Erika's chapter, The Pearls My Family Left. And so there was another wisdom pearl that you talked about, which is trusting the process. Trust the process. Talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so that kind of comes, as you'll read a little bit more in the book, from my family and my spiritual background. Everything has a process, and we don't understand the process or the plan, but everything that happens is a step.
Yeah.
And that step will lead you through the journey. Sometimes that process is not easy. Sometimes you don't understand it. Sometimes it takes longer than we want it to. But if you just go with the flow, you trust the process, you get to the ultimate result. And it's a beautiful result in the end.
It's a beautiful result. So trust the process. Somebody should type that in the chat. Trust the process. Trust the process. And so, Erika, what do you want people to walk away with after they've read your chapter, The Pearls My Family Left, as a part of our overall book collaboration, Pearls? What do you want people to walk away with?
I want people to walk away with knowing that life may not be easy all the time. It may not be the way that you thought it was going to be, but it will take you to the journey where you're supposed to be. And all the little lessons that you learn as you go along from your family and your friends, they really are important. You will see them all come together into a beautiful pearl necklace as you continue to go in your life.
Oh, so well said. So well said. How can people connect with you, online and all of that?
Well, I have a website. It is Erika Brooks, LPC.com. I am on Facebook at Erika Brooks, LPC, CSAC, and it's Erika with a K, no C. And I'm on Instagram at Erika.LPC.
All right. And so certainly some people might say, hey, her voice is so calming and soothing. I'd love for her to be my therapist. Are you accepting clients? Are you booked? How is that working?
I am accepting clients. You are welcome to reach out to me on Instagram and or Facebook and just send me a message, or to the website. You can definitely reach me there.
All right. Do you see any more writing in your future?
Absolutely. This has kind of started a bug for me. So I'm working on affirmation cards. I'm working on journal prompts. And hopefully I will get a journal out. Speaking, I'm still doing engagements. So if anybody wants to reach out, certainly give me a call or reach me on the social media platforms. I have a couple of self-care events coming up that I'm
wonderful.
Yes, I'm excited about, and I'm ready to tell everyone, but just not quite yet. So I have some good things on the horizon. So
well, we will keep our eye out on you. And again, glad that you are one of the contributors for this book, Pearls, again, available for pre-orders. So connect with Erika to get your pre-order from her if you are following her, and all of those connections. And thank you so much for stopping by here on Amazon Live.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's get ready for our next co-author spotlight. All right. Next up, we have the amazing Patricia Dyer. We call her Pat. You know her from Breakthrough Flags. She is one of our co-authors. I'm bringing her up to the Amazon stage right now, live here on Amazon. Hello, Pat. We're glad to have you.
Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm so excited to be here.
Yay! We are so glad to have you as one of the co-authors in this book collaboration, Pearls, which is wisdom and advice from emerging women leaders. And so there's love, all kinds of love popping up in the comments here. So thank you for those that are all over Amazon Live, and then we're sneaking and simulcasting in several other places. So we're glad to have you. So Pat, tell people a little bit about yourself, those that are brand new to you, your background and all that good stuff.
All right, so my name is Pat Dyer, and I'm the director of Breakthrough Flags Ministries, where I teach and train people how to use worship tools like flags, scarves, and streamers to create choreography that touches the heart of God and shakes the gates of hell. I also work with churches, and I help them enhance their worship service so that people can truly understand the power of worship, the power of praise and worship, and how to go straight to the Father's throne room. I also work with women groups. I do retreats. We just had a retreat last year. We did a worship retreat, which was amazing. We went to Myrtle Beach for 4 days, and we even flagged on the beach. So I'm also a speaker. I've taught internationally, so I've been blessed to do that, to carry the word of God, because it's all about bringing the light where there's darkness.
Yeah. So good. And so here you are writing, right? All of those creative things, and found yourself writing, and your chapter, you're worth the investment. Talk a little bit about your writing process and how you sat down and kind of pulled together what you wanted to share with our readers.
Well,
what happened was
I'm a talker. I'm a talker. So writing is very difficult for me sometimes because I can't get everything out of my head. So what I originally did was I did a brain dump. I just wrote down different things that came to my spirit. I just wrote them down on a piece of paper. And then I used something because I'm a retired teacher, I used something I used to teach my kids called the 4-square writing. So it's like 4 boxes on the side and then in the middle piece. And so I wrote in the middle piece what I wanted to talk about. And in those 4 boxes, I was able to break it down. Because sometimes when you're creative, you always see the big picture. You don't see the details. So that organizer helped me break the things down and to begin to look at it in smaller pieces. So that's how I was able to. And what I did was I did one for each section of my chapter. Mm-hmm. And then I combined them all. And that's how I got the chapter.
Oh, okay. So listen, those that are aspiring authors and aspiring writers, that was like a great tip right there. A great tip. And so you certainly could have written about a lot of different things. Just like you mentioned, you are very, Breakthrough Flags is about liturgical dance and flag ministry and helping, ministries establish or grow those type of offerings and program offerings within their ministry. But then you kind of took a little bit of a shift in the direction, perhaps, of what I might have thought you would have written about. And you wrote about like self-care. So talk about maybe, 1 or 2 of the tips or the things that you shared in your chapter.
Well, one of the things I learned is that, especially as women, as ministers, as people in the church, we take care of everybody else before we take care of us. And then at the end of the day, we don't have an empty cup. Our cup is dry. It's dry. And then we wonder why we're not able to do things. So one of the things I realized was that how you start your day, or more specifically, how you spend the first few moments of the day and the hours, can definitely impact the rest of your day. And so whether you're a person in ministry, a teacher, a mom, a dad, whatever your role is, if you don't take those first couple of hours in the morning to center yourself, then you can't, when you give to others, you won't have anything at the end to save for yourself. And that's how I did that. The other thing I talked about was that many people fall short when it comes to self-care because they think it's selfish.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's one of the biggest misconceptions about it. And self-care isn't just bubble baths and relaxing and getting your fingernails done and all that, which all is good. But self-care is about feeding your soul. And when you feed your soul, you're going to find out that you become restored and re-energized. And then you're prepared to go out for whatever your assignment is today. So it goes hand in hand with ministry, because if you don't, like they talk about the first fruits, you're the first fruit of the day. If you don't spend that time, cultivating yourself, then what kind of harvest can you have?
Oh, that's good right there. That's good right there. And, there's so much conversation around morning routines, evening routines, like in a lot of different arenas. And so there was one thing that you said in your chapter that was really just one sentence. You said, but the real reason I didn't like mornings was because of the sheer chaos that awaited me once I placed my feet on the floor. And so you definitely give in your chapter some strategies around of what maybe some people fear is that chaos. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. One of the things is like in the morning I would get up, and a lot of us do this. Oh, I want 5 more minutes. And we put the snooze on.
Yeah.
And then we hit the snooze. We hit the snooze usually about 3 times. But then what happens? We jump out of the bed and now we're rushing. So the supposedly extra rest we got, we've lost before we even put our feet on the floor. And we do that because sometimes we don't have a plan. And so when you get up in the morning and you haven't really planned out what you need to do, or you didn't plan the night before, you're running around, and that's where the chaos comes. And I didn't want to face that anymore because it was draining. Yeah. It's like, have you ever had a morning where you open your eyes and you're tired before you even get out of bed because you ran through your whole day already?
Yeah.
So one of the things is that by having a plan, by having a morning routine, again, you set yourself up to have a successful day. And in the beginning, I didn't have a plan. And so that's why I was burnt out before I even got out of the bed.
All right. And so what do you want readers to walk away with after they have read your chapter?
I want them to understand that self-care is not aftercare. And by that, I mean, it's not after I do this and after I do that. And after I finish the big project, I'm going to go get a massage. Self-care is something that has to happen every day. So a good tip to follow is this. If you want to ensure that you have self-care in your day, schedule it. That's what a morning routine is for. Schedule it in your day. Put it on your calendar, because if you don't write it down, what they say, it doesn't happen. And when we take care of ourselves, we are then operating in our excellence. So it's so important to take care of yourself. And even though we have busy lives and all those things like that, remember, you are worth the investment.
Yeah.
You are worth the investment, because at the end of the day, you will feel like a pearl. You will shine like a pearl, because you have taken the time and set it aside to invest in yourself.
All right, Patricia Dyer, co-author of Pearls, Wisdom and Advice from Emerging Women Leaders. Her chapter, You're Worth the Investment. You can pre-order from Patricia. How can people connect with you online and also work with you?
All right, so I'm on Facebook and Instagram under Breakthrough Flags Ministries. I also have a website, www.breakthroughflagsministries. You can connect with me there for speaking, for coming and doing working with your church, for doing wellness retreats, all those kind of things like that. I also have an email. It's patdyer@breakthroughflags.com.
All right. Well, we are so glad that we had an opportunity to feature you here on Amazon Live. More importantly, to have you as a part of the book collaboration Pearls and one of our amazing clients. So thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. I am telling you, listen, literally each chapter in this book, Pearl, like the book is worth, even if you just read one chapter, even if you just read Pat's chapter, even if you just read Erika's chapter, even if you just read just one chapter, the book is worth that. But I'm telling you, there's so many more nuggets that are being shared. And again, we welcome you here to Amazon Live for our author showcase for Pearls. Our book collaboration. I am Sharvette Mitchell, your host, the owner of Mitchell Productions and lead marketing consultant. And one of the things that we do as a way of marketing and visibility is we produce book collaborations for and with and in partnership with our clients. And so you'll see down below on Amazon where you can purchase some of our past book collaborations. I just showed just a couple. They're down below there, so you can check those out right there on Amazon. Thank you for all of the comments that are coming in. Thank you, Allison Lilly from Richmond, Virginia, coming on in, giving a shout out. Now, let's move into our next author spotlight. I'm so excited to have Dr. Tamara Dias joining us. I'm bringing her up live on the stage right now. Show some love in the comments. Hello, Dr. D, as we affectionately say. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm so excited to feature you here on Amazon Live and to have you as a co-author in our book.
Thank you so much. It's truly a blessing. It's a pleasure not only to be featured, but to be featured alongside so many dynamic, engaging, and just inspiring women.
Yes, yes. And so before we jump ahead, I'd love for you just to share a little bit about your background, your passion, and the things that you're working on these days.
Yeah, absolutely. So my background is pretty diverse. I have about a decade of experience across corporate and nonprofit sectors. I really started my career when I finished college as a classroom teacher. And then from there grew into being a school level leader, a CEO. I've opened schools, and then I've led in the corporate space in educational settings. And in all of those roles, I think the commonality here has been service to other people. So being in a space of where I'm serving either students or staff, and also just really a passion for giving back to other people. And so really kind of grounding all of my work in that. Now, presently, I do a lot of work around culture, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and specifically launched my coaching business, TWD Coaching and Consulting, for leadership development.
All right. I love it. I love it. Certainly a lot of work to be done, definitely in the diversity and in inclusion and all of that space. So thank you for your passion work and hard work in that area. And so as I said about Pat, you found some time to write a chapter. And I love the title, which is Some People Never Arrive, Embracing Your Unique Gifts. So what was your writing process? How did you get inspired to decide what to include? I'm sure you could have written about a whole lot of stuff, but what was your writing process?
Absolutely. So one of the things that I talk about often in whether I'm at a conference, whether I'm facilitating a keynote, at some point, strength-based work, working from your skills, using your talents is a theme. It's something I believe in. It's a value statement in my life. And so I kind of knew when I got the title of Pearls, I kind of said, okay, I know I want to do something focusing on strengths and talents, but I'm not quite sure how I want it to go. I'm very type A, so I have to outline everything. And so pretty much I started with an outline, drafted my intro, and then did my conclusion for how I wanted it to end. If any educator is watching, then you're familiar with something with backwards mapping, which is where you start from what you want your end goal to be. And then you work backwards from there and kind of detail the process. And so that was the approach that I took for this. I knew what I wanted people to walk away with. I knew how I wanted them to feel once they finished reading the chapter. And so then from there, I started working my way back to what I wanted to cover.
All right. And I must mention, Dr. D's chapter opens up the book. So her chapter is the first chapter in Pearls. And so I think it's such a great launching pad for the rest of the chapters. And so you talk a lot about authenticity. And I love there was a specific sentence that said, what does authenticity look like for you? And that when I read that, I paused because I think people are always talking about be real and be authentic. But then when you said, what does that look like for you? Maybe authenticity looks different for different people. And so that to me was like an aha. So talk about authenticity, and is that different? And what does that all even mean?
So from a broad sense, I definitely think for me, authenticity looks like being able to show up as your full self. Now, who that full self is going to look completely different from me to you, to your sister, your cousin, whoever. It's going to be completely different. But I often think about, I've seen a lot of TikTok videos that make jokes about it. And I think about my own journey to where people talk about, you know, you drive to work and you pull up at work and it's like you put on this facade or you put on this mask and you're like, okay, now I got to get ready to go into the office. I have to get ready to go into my job and be this person. And then you get back in the car at the end of the day, you breathe and you're like, okay, now I can release it. Now I can be myself. I can go home. I can relax. And I've realized that so many of us are doing that. We become different people in different spaces, and we feel like we have to shift into this different personality or to this different person altogether. And when you think about the workday, we're giving 7-8 hours a day of our waking hours to our workplaces. Do you know how uncomfortable it is to spend 7 to 8 hours of the time you are awake as a completely different person, or pretending to be someone completely different, or just having to alter who you are? And really that sentence for me was like, what if we didn't have to do that anymore? What if we didn't have to sit in the car and transform into somebody different? We could just show up as who we are and feel comfortable and confident in who that person is.
Ah, so good. And if you connect with that, show some love in the comments. So show some love. I mean, and to think about it that way, 7 or 8 hours, some people maybe even more, being somebody else or a version of yourself. And really corporations, you know, corporations are really not getting, there's a discussion, probably a whole nother show around that of what corporations are not getting. I posted something on Instagram or LinkedIn the other day, and it said companies or organizations should be scared when their highest performers and highest achievers become silent and become quiet. And maybe some of that lends to that people feel like they can't speak up. And so what are some of the other things kind of related to that in your chapter, and people knowing their strength and walking in their strength?
Yeah, so I also think about authenticity, not just from a space of showing up as who you are, but also embracing who you are. So I've often seen a space where we compare ourselves to one another. We're looking at this person's title or that person's accomplishments, or I wish I could speak like her. I wish I could sing like that person, or this person's so much more organized than I am, and I wish I just was like them. And as women, we're so critical of ourselves. And we focus heavily on that lens of feeling like we're not enough, feeling less than, feeling incompetent, whatever that might be. And that lens pulls us further and further away from actually appreciating what our skills are and what our strengths are. So while you're saying, I wish that I was as organized as that person, they're wishing that maybe they could write as well as you do. You're wishing you could sing like someone. They're wishing they could dance the way you do. But we're so busy focused on wanting what others have around us, or even comparing our areas of growth or our weaknesses to someone else, that we don't focus on the strengths. And I remember this week, just a couple of days ago, I had a conversation with someone, and I said, tell me what you're most proud about since we last talked. What have you done in your life in the past week that just makes you happy and proud of yourself? And it took her about 2.5 minutes. And she said, I'm not used to thinking about what I'm good at. It would have been so much easier if you asked me, what could I change, or where would I improve? You've asked me to tell you what I'm good at, and that's really hard for me to do.
Yeah. And that's hard for a lot of people. And for some reason, we're conditioned to focus on the negative. Like when you get a year-end review or a mid-year review, you're like scrolling down, like skip all the good stuff. Where's the needs improvement? Where is the, what things to work on section? Like we automatically, and I don't know why, but we automatically, and we have to kind of retrain ourselves and have more discussions. And so if you're popping on this Amazon Live, we're talking to and showcasing one of our co-authors, Dr. Tamara Dias, her chapter, Some People Never Arrive, Embracing Your Unique Gifts. So make sure you have the opportunity to pre-order from her. And so what do you want people to kind of walk away with once they have read your chapter?
I think the first thing that I want people to walk away with is gratitude. Gratitude for who they are, gratitude that they are here another day, and gratitude that they have another opportunity to not only recognize their gifts, but also use them. And I think once you truly realize what talents, what skills you've been blessed with, then it really just gives you a sense of gratitude to be able to use them and implement them and use them to support people and help people around you. And then, of course, I always like things to be applicable. So when you read it, I hope that it ignites some change in you, something that makes you want to take action and not just read. The goal is that as you're reading, you feel inspired to say, now that I've read this chapter, what can I do differently? Doesn't have to be drastic. Small changes, small steps, small progress is important. But I think I really want people to read this chapter and feel like I now feel called to take action, whether that's embracing my strengths, whether that is taking a moment not to compare myself. I'm going to do a call to action for myself and not compare myself to the next woman, or I'm going to figure out how I can use my skills to help somebody else. I think for me, having that gratitude and then causing yourself to take action once you've read the chapter is really what I hope.
Yeah. So many people connecting with that gratitude. Cookie connecting with gratitude. Bishop Regina Taylor, gratitude is important. Absolutely. Gratitude. Kim, my sister hanging out on YouTube, my blood sister, gratitude, being authentic. People are definitely connecting with that. Dr. D, I have a gratitude journal that I started using, a digital journal. And what's interesting about the journal is part of it you write in the morning and the other part you write in the evening. And so one of the things that in the evening is it says, what was something that made you smile or something that you were happy about today? And so I thought about that when your client or whoever you talk to was like, I got to think about that. And sometimes it comes right to me. And then sometimes it might be small, like, you know what? I got that parking space up front and I didn't have to walk 900 miles when I went wherever. And some things will like come right to me. And then so it does, that kind of practice of gratitude is so important. And again, looks like our listeners and viewers are aligning with that. So if someone is listening saying, I don't know my strengths, so maybe I'm having a challenge of working in my area of strength because I don't know my strengths. Do you have any guidance for that viewer?
Absolutely. So I love assessments. There's a ton of them out there. I'm a certified DISC assessment coach. The DISC assessment is available online. I give my clients the longer, detailed version, but you can find quick, shorter versions if you just go to Google, type in DISC, DISC, and that really walks you through your strengths. It'll give you an overview of what your strengths are. Another thing, kind of if you, in addition to or as an alternative to that, is ask the people around you. Ask your friends, ask your family members, ask your coworkers. What do I do well? Or if you had to describe me to someone, what would you tell them I do well? Or what would you tell them my strengths are? I like to do that anyway, because I find that people see things in me that I don't often see in myself. They're able to call certain things out to me. They're able to identify attributes, or because I have that critical lens, I just think this isn't a strength. This isn't important that I do this, that I have this attribute. And so having other people call it out to me is that reminder of, no, wait, actually I should feel proud about that. I should be really thankful that I have this characteristic or this attribute and I wasn't. I thought it was a normal, day to day. I thought everybody did it this way or everybody had this approach. So definitely having that external feedback can be helpful too.
Yeah. And so certainly people can Google or find out different ways and use assessments to help them with their strengths, and not just focus on, I guess, I got to work just all on my weaknesses or wherever I'm not strong. In your chapter, you mentioned Viola Davis, who, is having like an amazing year, a book out and doing some other things. And so what was the connection to say, I want to kind of reference her in my chapter?
Well, for starters, I love Viola Davis. I think she's amazing. She's beautiful. She's talented. And every movie that I see her in, and jokingly, people talk about how she has this ability to just convey deep emotion. And if you've ever seen Viola Davis in anything, chances are she's probably made you cry, or you hold your breath, or you're hanging on every single syllable that comes out of her mouth as she says it. And I remember watching her and just being amazed. But also, if you know Viola Davis, you know that most of us didn't know her. She didn't become a household name until about the past decade.
Yes.
And so in finding out, I'm thinking, oh, Viola Davis just started her career. And then I found out, no, she's been doing this forever, but she didn't come to kind of mainstream conversation until the past 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
And so I realized, what does that mean for someone so acclaimed, to have this great success in her 40s, 50s, whereas, so many times people tell us, when you're young, that's when your success will come, or your best times are in your 20s or in your 30s. And so many people feel like in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, there's nothing, I don't have anything left. My best years are gone. I just kind of wind it down, or I'm just taking it day to day. And really, what does it look like to embrace every single day as a new opportunity and to instead see your best years ahead of you, not behind you?
That's so good at any age, at any age to have that frame of reference. Rita, let me capture her comment. You are a phenomenal speaker. What are some of the other speaking topics? So certainly listeners and viewers, you can reach out to Dr. D. What are some of the other speaking topics that you can speak on that organizations can bring you in to speak about?
Absolutely. So again, I've done both corporate and nonprofit settings. I've done keynotes, and keynotes can range on anything from leadership development. I've done women's conferences and events where we're talking about using your strengths, using your talents, career conversations. I actually started off my business as a career coach. So I've coached, dozens of women from entry level to executive level positions. And so also speaking on things, whether that's from advancing your career to finding fulfillment in what you do. And then I've also done retreats. So if you're planning a retreat of some sort, whether that's personally, professionally, I'm happy to kind of craft an agenda that speaks to the goals of that, specifically if it's around diversity, equity, or inclusion within the workspace. I'm happy to speak on those topics too.
All right, Dr. Tamara Dias. How can people connect with you and follow you and all those good things?
Yes, so I am on LinkedIn and Facebook, Tamara Wilkerson-Dias, and then of course on Instagram and Twitter at Dr. Tamara W. Dias.
All right, and it is her responding authentically.
Yes, it is. It is me. I don't have a social media bot or an assistant coming in. It is me. I promise.
It is you. It is you. Well, we are so excited that you're a part of this book collaboration. Again, opening up the book, viewers, her chapter, again, the very first chapter in this book collaboration, Pearls. Some people never arrive. Embracing your unique gifts, and certainly we want you all to arrive wherever that destination might be, which may look differently. Any final thoughts or final things that you would share with that reader that's going to pick up the book and they're going to start with your chapter?
Yeah, I mean, I think as we read, we all have been in spaces, I think over the past 2 years, in the virtual space, digital space, where we've read books, we've attended webinars, and we shelve things. We're taking in all this knowledge. And again, my call to action for you is that not just as you're reading my chapter, but as you're reading any chapter in this book, that you don't just read it, allow yourself to take it in, and then toss it up on the shelf. Pick the book back up, read it again, call out some things that you want to see done differently in your life, and use it to inspire you to do something different, whether that is a mindset shift, whether that is a physical, actionable shift, whatever that looks like for you. But I really want you to be encouraged to not let this just become another book that collects dust. When you get it for yourself, get it as a gift. No better time to plan for the holiday season. It'll be here quicker, but use it as a tool in your life that causes you to then ask yourself, what do I need to do differently? How has this book inspired me to do something differently so that I can then look ahead and just grow and become a better person?
All right. And that is from an author as well as a reader, because I know you yourself, you actually do what you are telling us about. Well, thank you so much for being here on Amazon Live. And again, being a part of this book collaboration has been a delight chatting with you this morning. And we're going to keep our eye out on you.
Likewise. Thank you so much, Sharvette. It was a pleasure as always.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Woo. I am telling you, pick up, pre-order your copy of Pearls from your favorite co-author, those that are connecting here with us on Amazon Live. If you're on Amazon Live, you're like, can I buy it on Amazon? Not yet. It's in pre-order. However, down below, you will see our past book collaborations. Let me do them in order. So you'll see below Propel, which features an amazing set of our clients as well for emerging women in business and leadership. So pick that up. Then our second book collaboration, Pour, is available down below on Amazon. And this is so great. The Secret Effects of Giving and Serving in Business. So who did you pour into, or who poured into you to help you get to the next level? This is such a great book collaboration. Some of the co-authors are hanging out, watching with us. And then our last most recent book collaboration right before Pearls is Pursue. I'm trying to hold it so you can kind of see Pursue. And this is all about chasing your goals and your dreams in business, life, leadership. Such a great collaboration. Again, some of our co-authors from this book are hanging out with us here in the comments. And so those are all available down below on Amazon Live. But we are talking about Pearls today, Pearls, and we are sharing and showcasing some of our authors, our co-authors that have come together in this collaboration. What I love so beautifully about the types of books that we produce here for Mitchell Productions is that they are almost read in kind of short story form. So you could read chapter 1 and then you could jump and say, well, hey, I'm going to read chapter 3, and then you might jump back to chapter 2. So they're written in short story form. And so it's such a great way to kind of be able to consume the content, consume the book as you would like. And so as a recap, who we've already talked to today. So we've talked to Erika Brooks, and her chapter in Pearls is The Pearls My Family Left. Then we talked to Patricia Witherspoon-Dyer and her chapter, You're Worth the Investment. Then we just finished up talking to Dr. Tamara Dias. Some People Never Arrive, Embracing Your Unique Gifts. Coming up next into the studio. Listen, she's hanging out in the virtual green room. She's ready. We have Valarie Harris that's coming up. Her chapter in Pearls is Stepping Up and Stepping Out of Your Comfort Zone. And so we're going to bring Valarie up right after this quick commercial break. Sponsor shout out. We'll be right back. Imagine what it would feel like to throw a spotlight on your business and draw attention to the great services you offer. Picture having the tools and strategies to elevate the marketing of your business. That's the mission of Mitchell Productions. We consult with women entrepreneurs and a few lucky men to help them get more customers by focusing on their visibility, their marketing, and their branding. In working with us, our clients generate more revenue and increase their brand awareness. We do this in a couple of ways with consulting services, the Platform Builder Group Coaching Program, pop-up conferences, book collaborations, and the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Hi, I'm Sharvette Mitchell, your online marketing strategist, your overwhelm eliminator, your platform builder, and your confidence igniter. Let's schedule a meet and greet call so that we can accelerate your marketing.
The book collaboration, Pearls, is a collection of advice and guidance for women who want to excel in various areas of their life, career, and business. In this engaging combination of intimate stories, thought-provoking guidance, strategic advice, and practical tips, 11 emerging leaders share pearls of wisdom. By the time you finish reading Pearls, you'll walk away with a collection of invisible pearl necklaces that will make you feel empowered. You will have a renewed sense of direction and confidence to face what's next for you. Order your copy of Pearls today.
All right. And that's what we're talking about, Pearls. I definitely want to shout out some of you that are on Amazon Live, giving us some love. Servant of Christ, thank you so much, saying great message. Yes, backwards mapping. I love that. Thank you, Carmen Jimenez-Pride, #Pearl. She's one of our co-authors. You're going to get to hear from her later. Hello, LaShonda Henry. So good to see you, Sister Sense. She said, congrats on the new book release. A.M. Smith. Hello, ladies. Congratulations. So thank you for for all those that are on Amazon Live, that are commenting and hanging out here with us. So let's move on into our next author spotlight. Again, another one of our co-authors in this book collaboration, Pearls. We have Valarie Harris with us, her chapter, Stepping Up and Stepping Out of Your Comfort Zone. Without further ado, let's virtually clap it up for Valarie Harris. Hey, Val.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so excited about being here with you today.
We are honored and excited as well to have you. Listen, getting some love in the comments. Dana, fist pump, yes, hey girl, hey, from our Facebook group, Coaching with Yvette. And so we are so excited just to be chatting with you and to share you with the Amazon Live viewers and readers. We've got Ulika Kimber shouting out, hey, Reverend Val. So you've got some love here in the comments. So tell our viewers and future readers a little bit more about you, what you do, your background, and kind of where you are in life.
Well, my name is Valarie Harris, and I've worked in various roles during my life, and I am a retired teacher after 34 years. I'm a preacher, author, and the owner of Stepping Out with Purpose, LLC, where I am a certified Christian life purpose and discovery coach, where I consult with women in leadership roles and entrepreneurs who engage in coaching, consulting, and course creation worldwide. Because I have traveled in many countries, so I do it worldwide. Amen.
Yes. And you just got back from a trip. Tell us about that.
Grenada. Yes, I was involved in a trip, a collaborative trip with a group of people, and we went to Grenada, and we were responsible for helping someone develop a disaster relief plan for the country of Grenada. And it was very exciting because that was something that we'd never done before. So the team, we collaborated together, put our heads together, our ideas together, did the research, and was able to help one of the persons that invited us to succeed and finish their project that they were working on. So that was very, very exciting.
All right, very exciting. And you certainly are not new to the author world and the book world. So tell us about your book products that you already have out.
Well, the book products that I already have out is a 40-day prayer journal called Talk Time with God. And then I have a youth journal for Unleashed Power of Prayer for youth and young adults to help them develop their skills of prayer and journaling. And because I'm a journaler, I get up in the morning and I journal and I spend time in the presence of God. So just to put that spirit and that empowerment in our youth so that they know when they are struggling, they know who to go to, and that's God, So, I did that book and I did it as a interactive book, so so that they could be creative in the book. They could even draw their feelings, but it gives them lessons, but they also can write out how they feel, what happened at school that day, and say a prayer to God, so it's a variety of things that they can do in that book. Yes.
All right. And are those available on Amazon?
Those books are available on Amazon and also through my website.
All right. Wonderful. And so let's talk about your writing kind of style and thought process as you decided to put together your chapter here in our book collaboration, Pearls. What inspired you, and how did you get into the mindset to write this chapter?
Well, it was very exciting because when you gave us the instructions and you said that the pearls would be the wisdom and advice from emerging women leaders, I got excited right there.
Yeah.
I was really excited, and I began to pray about what I wanted to impart into the women or whoever would read my chapter, that they would go out and do something, make a move and step out and do something that they've had fear about doing in their life. And so, I decided to just make a draft. I worked on my introduction. I came up with all the points or the subtitles that I wanted to talk about. And then I did my conclusion. But, you always want to, for me, I let someone else look at what I had to give me their advice and their input before I actually send it into the editor. But I enjoyed writing each part because it's something that I've walked. It's something that I've experienced in my life. So the nuggets and the pearls that I put in the book, I pray that they will bless the person that reads them. Yes.
Yes, it was so good. It was so good. And I love, your chapter title, Stepping Up and Stepping Out of Your Comfort Zone. And I think that's so distinct. And I want you to talk about that title, because that title also, people can find kind of your Facebook Live, live streaming series is that same title. So to me, it's a distinction to say stepping up and stepping out. Like it's a two-part process of getting out of your comfort zone. Talk a little bit about that, or maybe I'm just reading more into it, but
no, you're right. Because the thing about us stepping up and stepping out, a lot of times, and I've experienced it, you feel stuck in your life where you don't know what to do, so you won't make moves, so you won't step out. You won't step up. So you need to know that you know what you have inside of us, and all of us have greatness inside of us, but we have to recognize that greatness and be willing to not allow fear or doubt to stop us from doing the things that God has called us to do, because we are all birthed with purpose. So we need to be able to step up and step out so that we can walk in the purpose that God has designed for each and every one of us. So that's the thing that I want to encourage people, that yes, it's a fearful thing, but God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And so when we rely on Him to do whatever it is that we have to do, we can step up and step out in boldness and not have to worry about the naysayers or whatever, the noise around us. Shut it out, because we're doing what we've been called to do for this time.
Well, my comfort zone is just that. It's comfortable, Val. I feel safe. I feel, I'm comfortable. Why do I have to get out of my comfort zone?
Because when you stay stuck right there and comfortable, you're going to miss out on the design, that how God designed you to be able to move and to be creative and to be able to empower other people. Because when He's given us the gifts and talents that He's given us, they are not for us to be comfortable. We have to stir them up, and we have to step out so that we can use them, so that other people can benefit from what we have inside of us. So you gotta, like I said, you have to depend on to help you, to give you that strength and give you that boldness, because you can't do it alone. So you need help. So the help that you can get is through the Holy Spirit, because He will empower you to step up and step out of your comfort zone.
All right. So once readers have read your chapter, what is your hope for them? What do you want them to walk away with?
My hope for my readers is that they will leave away with the feeling of being refreshed.
Yeah.
In their mind, be renewed in their mind, rejuvenated in their mind, and ready to step up and step out of their comfort zone, because it is a difficult thing. And a lot of people are struggling with that. And that's why I know that I can help someone move past the barriers, move past hurts and because in life we get disappointed, and it will cause us to stay in that comfortable place that you were talking about. Well, I don't need to move. I'm okay right here. No, you're not okay right there. You need to use those experiences, because every experience, every hurt, every disappointment, that thing is there so that you can help the next person come above it. So, I want them to leave away refreshed, renewed, rejuvenated, and ready to step out of their comfort zone. And I want them to also feel a sense of excitement, because we have to feel excited about what we're doing. When you get up in the morning, you need to have an excitement about what God is going to do through you that day, and let your creative mind move and shake and so that you can, write out and help others and empower them to do what they have to do, because we all have greatness inside of us, and we have to realize that and walk in the purpose that God has purposed each and every one of us to walk in. So that's what I want to leave my readers with, is excitement. You need to be excited about what you do and love what you do. Be passionate about what you do.
Yes. And Eureka Plan to Prosper Small Biz Academy is saying courage over comfort, courage over comfort. Kim is saying comfort zone often for some serves as a security blanket. Ooh, yes, 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 yes. And we need to break out in some of our areas of our life. That's so good. That's so good. And that's, again, my sister, my bio sister, biological sister, testifying and signifying for that. And I'm hoping readers and viewers that you are hearing kind of how these chapters are so nicely laced together that things are kind of just tied up for everyone. And so, and what I love about your chapters is that you write from a angle of leadership consulting, because you are a leadership consultant, and so you write from that angle. How can people connect with you? And again, if you're a fan of Val, you're following, pre-order your book from her. How can they connect with you, and how can they work with you?
Okay, the name of my company, of course, is Stepping Out with Purpose LLC, where I'm a certified life purpose discovery coach. And you can reach out to me through my website. And my website address is www.talktimeval.com. And there you can set up an appointment with me, and we can discuss it, whatever areas you need to work on. And, I do it individually. I do group consulting with my clients. And so, I help them prepare and equip them to reach their goals, and offer them tools and resources and expertise to help my clients achieve their dreams to lead a successful life. Because after teaching for many, many years, you have to, I tailor it according to the person's needs. So, I just love doing what I do and working with people to help them reach those goals and know what their values are, and so that they can just be productive in the things that they're doing, and to walk in their purpose and to know their mission, and just to be encouraging to them to know that they can do this. They can step out of their comfort zone. Yeah, they have the power within them to do that, to step up and step out of their comfort zone. And so if anybody needs help stepping up and stepping out of their comfort zone, they need to come and see me.
All right, there you go. 2 snaps. Valarie Harris, again, co-author in our book collaboration here, Pearls, Wisdom, and Advice from Emerging Women Leaders. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, Val, and we're so glad to have you in our book collaboration.
Yes, and they can also go to my Facebook page and Instagram if they also want to get in touch with me.
Sure. And what are those page links? How do they find those?
My Linktree page is https://linktr.ee/talktimeval.
All right. And your main website address?
They can just look up Valarie Harris. I'm in there as Valarie Harris.
Great. And your main website again?
www.talktimeval.com. That's my main website. That's where you can reach me for everything there. Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here, Val. We're getting ready to talk to Kathy Staten and bring Kathy up, but it has been an honor having you as a part of this book collaboration, and we're going to keep our eye out on you. All right.
Thank you for allowing me to come.
Thank you. Wonderful. All right, we are keeping this train moving, going into hour 2. We told you we were going to be here with you for 2 full hours on Amazon Live. If you're just popping on in any of our multi-streaming locations, I'm Sharvette Mitchell. I'm the owner of Mitchell Productions, lead marketing consultant. And one of the things that we do related to marketing, visibility, and branding is we produce book collaborations with and in partnership with our clients. A lot of them are in our amazing platform builder program. So if you're saying, hey, Sharvette, how do I get into one of these book collaborations? Just connect with Mitchell Productions and we'll have a conversation. We do have an opportunity coming up for our next book collaboration. So let's get ready to move right on in to our next segment. We have Kathy Staten with us. Let me bring her up to the mic live on Amazon Live. Hello, Kathy.
How you doing, Sharvette? How you doing?
I am doing well. We are
got some heavyweights on here this morning.
Listen, and you come and you pulling right on in with
us. Got some heavyweights with you today.
We love chatting with you. We love your energy. And so we know you are already in this kind of book vibe because you just launched your own personal book. But before I get there, I want you to share with the viewers and our future readers a little bit about your background and, the space that you're working in.
Well, good morning, everybody. I am so glad to be here this morning with Sharvette. I'm glad that I can have this opportunity. I have over a 30-year span of working in human services, providing services to the citizens of Illinois, which has been my pleasure to do. I love serving people, and I am so grateful that I got a chance to have a career that I loved. Now, some of the systems and all of that, but serving people is what I love to do. And I was able to do that through direct service, able to do that through administering programs all throughout the state of Illinois. And so that's what I did professionally.
Yeah. And then you got into writing your own book.
Amazing, huh?
Yes, which is available here. Those on Amazon. It is available on Amazon. So talk to us about your book that you wrote and the themes and all of that.
Okay, well, last year I actually, was testing the water. So I wrote an ebook, and the ebook was Trusting a Certain God in Uncertain Times.
Ooh.
Okay, so I wrote that book.
Wait a minute, Paul. Say that again, because that was good. The title.
Trusting a Certain God in Uncertain Times.
Oh, that's good.
And that ebook is also on Amazon. So I just kind of wanted to test the waters. I wrote that book, wanted to be of value to all of us because even now, things are so uncertain, but there is something that is certain.
Yeah,
that is God, and He does not change. And so I wrote that ebook. It's less than 15 pages, so you can get the ebook. I wrote that, and then I said, I'm gonna write this book. And this title was in my head for some years: Descendants of Dysfunction. I have been a student of trauma-informed care, healing-centered services ever since I found out about the groundbreaking ACEs study that was done in California back in the late 90s. And ever since then, I have been a student trying to find out more about how we can all be aware of trauma that is so prevalent in our society, in our home environments, in work environments, and then, of course, historical trauma.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about how can I bridge this gap between what I'm learning about and getting these truths to people so it can actually impact their lives.
Yeah.
And as a student of the Bible as well, I was always amazed at some of these Old Testament families who really had a lot of drama going on.
Much drama.
They really got a lot of dysfunction.
The original housewives of whatever.
Listen, if you know anything about Old Testament families, you know that they had a lot of dysfunction. Mm-hmm. And so I began to think about that, and I threw that out, descendants of dysfunction. And so I said, I would just write the book, Descendants of Dysfunction, what we can learn from the Bible's dysfunctional families. So the book was actually released in April along with my birthday. And it is 7 chapters, 7 standalone chapters, actually a Bible study of family dysfunction in the Old Testament. And I talk about everything from healing from family secrets to mending family rifts. And so what I did, I don't know, I'm kind of jumping ahead, but
no, you're right on track. Yeah.
For my Pearls chapter, and I think my main thing is this: for people who have experienced family adversity, early family dysfunction, I want you to know that despite dysfunction, you can be dynamic.
Yes.
And so, of course, I could not help but chronicle the life of Joseph.
Yeah.
And so in the final chapter of my book, Descendants of Dysfunction, it's about Joseph. And the title is Joseph was dynamic despite dysfunction. So what I did for my Pearls chapter is I expanded that chapter on Joseph and giving some practical things that people can do if they have experienced family dysfunction. I want you to know you can still be dynamic.
Yes, 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 yes. So the chapter in Pearls is called You Can Be Dynamic Despite Dysfunction. And so I'm so glad you laid that out so beautifully. Yes, you did exactly what I wanted you to do. So you can get both books. She's expanded on where kind of the conversations that were started. So but I think the key is you can be dynamic despite dysfunction. And so let me throw this play angel's advocate. There might be people listening saying, well, it's only certain people that are dysfunctional. Like, what's your thought around when it's people like, well, it's just them that's dysfunctional, it's just that person that's dysfunctional?
Well, we all have a level of dysfunction. We all do. It's something in our families that nobody is perfect. Therefore, no family is perfect. And so there is something that you may need to overcome. You might not even realize it. I have a chapter in the book talking about creating sibling harmony, how to create sibling harmony as opposed to sibling rivalry. It could have been something as simple as that. You're not the favorite child.
Ooh,
okay. You know who the favorite child is, and you're not it. That's right. That can be traumatic, and it can have an impact on how we live as adults, doubting ourselves and never feeling good enough and always trying to please someone that you can't please. The favorite child is got that spot. You're not going to get in it. Okay. And then the chapter in Joseph, I talk about that. Yeah. How this rivalry that basically was built between Joseph and his brothers because he was his daddy's favorite. Yeah. And so when you are not the favorite, you know that there's really nothing you can do to become the favorite. So what they did was very drastic, and they agreed to basically get rid of him because he was the favorite. Okay. And so that's what happened in his life. And we know, if you know that story, you know that, in the end, it all worked out. But in the chapter, I talk about these characteristics of Joseph. Yeah. So that people who may be in that predicament don't become discouraged, don't become bitter, don't become distressed, don't become that mean, hateful person. The characteristics that he had that actually propelled him forward, that made him basically after Pharaoh, he was running the kingdom in Egypt. Wow. He was running the kingdom. And I have something in the book. Can I just read it a little bit?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So I have here, it says, after all I told you about Joseph, he was a slave. He was put in prison. He was lied on. All of these things happened to him. I say he could have been bitter after being unjustly imprisoned, but a bitter, discontented attitude does not a good leader make. Widen your lens and look at the big picture. The purposes of God are always bigger than us, bigger than we can imagine.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Listen, we're gonna leave them with that. We're gonna leave them with that, Kathy. We're gonna leave them with the cliffhanger. You can pre-order from Kathy. You're connected, following her. You can pre-order from Kathy. I am telling you, that's good right there. How can people connect with you, follow you, and work with you?
Okay, they can connect with me. I am, just as you see my name on the screen, I am Katherine Staten Katherine L. Staten on both Facebook and Instagram. My website is flourishandgrow.org, where I kind of talk about some of the things I do. Eventually, some of my videos and things that I have on Facebook are going to be there. So when the book came out, I did a video for each chapter of the book. So if you go to my Facebook page and you want to learn more about the book and the chapters and what's in it, you'll see those videos there. So those are the ways that they can kind of connect with me.
All right. Well, thank you. We are so glad to have your chapter in Pearls. Again, you can be dynamic despite dysfunction. And we are excited that you are a part. And listen. Plan to
Oh.
Prosper Small Biz Academy. She is all up in my testimony. Woo!
All right.
All right. Somebody else said, taking notes. Well, we are getting ready for our next co-author, LTomay. I see her in the green room. We're going to be bringing her up. Kathy, thank you so much for being an amazing co-author and just being a part of this project. We're glad to have you.
Thank you, Sharvette.
Thank you. All right, we are getting ready for our next spotlight. LTomay Varlack-Butler is here, and we're going to be hearing from her in just a few seconds. All right. Thank you so much again for being here for our Amazon Live featuring our co-authors of this book project, Pearls, this book collaboration, this anthology. Coming up to the mic, our next co-author that we are spotlighting. Listen, her chapter, The Death of Cinderella. Let's sort the situation out. Put your virtual hands together for LTomay Varlack-Butler coming up live on the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Hello, LTomay.
Hi, Sharvette. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Still trying to nurture my voice. My throat has been a little raspy for like 2 weeks.
Wow. And I know you have been, tell us your travels, like in the last, 3 weeks, like where are all the places you've been?
Oh my goodness. So in June, I came back from South Africa. Then I went to San Diego. Then I went to North Carolina and then to Chicago. And yeah, I'm about to head to Virginia today.
Oh my goodness, you coming in my neck of the woods. So we are glad to be able to grab some time with you. And certainly your chapter is so profound. Let me just say, such a profound piece of work, this chapter. So thank you for that. Before I jump into that, I want to make sure our viewers here on Amazon Live and our multi-streaming and simulcast areas know a little bit about you. So tell us a little bit about your background and the type of work that you do and your work's passion and all of that.
Sure, thank you. So just to reintroduce myself, my name is LTomay Varlack-Butler, and I am a daughter, I am a sister, I am a survivor, I am a mother, a grandmother, and I'm a wife. And my pronouns that I use is say my name /BLM because I stand in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement and intersectionality because of how Black women has been overlooked in the movement. And I like to start out, using that as my introduction because I don't believe that it's important to try to connect with the person's alphabet behind their name because I prefer to connect to their humanity.
Yeah.
And that also just feeds into the work I do as a restorative justice equity educator, executive coach, and I'm a social worker. And I successfully help leaders have critical conversations with ease to help them transform conflict. And I also work with women to help them heal from past trauma.
Thank you. Wonderful. Wanted to make sure our audience knew that. And so we've been sharing, all of the authors have been sharing about kind of their writing process and how they even kind of sat down to decide, what to include in this chapter, Pearls. And so what was the catalyst to help you decide what to include, and write in this chapter of Pearls?
Well, what helped me is the fact that I already started writing my own book, right? And I just felt like this chapter would be, just a good prerequisite for people who will eventually buy my book when it comes out, because it was just really leaning into the things that I'm experiencing as I observe working with people from my own lived experience, and just to, put it out there, because that's the message. Like, I am the message.
Yeah. And so Cinderella, this all of us know the Cinderella story and the Cinderella, the fantasy, and Cinderella has been remade. I don't know, that has been remade like 10 times, a minimum. So it's embedded, ingrained as something. But you start off kind of talking about how that story kind of was laced into, how you were trying to even deal with the world and all that. So would you like to set up whatever, as much or as little of what you would like to kind of set up about your chapter, and any thoughts you want to pull out?
Sure. So I think for me, the main thing is just right at the beginning where I talk about, because I'm talking to leaders as well, right?
Yeah.
And I made a statement about leading with the limp is an outcome of fighting to overcome. And leading with a leak speaks to denying and ignoring, or depending on secular success, to replace healing while we're causing harm along the way. And I felt like that was where I wanted to start, because a lot of time people are engaging each other and it's their unhealed parts that are actually engaging one another and causing chaos or causing confusion. And so what I'm realizing is that people often become busy, very busy. And there's a difference between being busy and productive, but they're busy, they're well put together.
Yeah.
But what's happening is they really haven't dealt with those things from their past, and it pops up in different ways. So one way it can show up is in relationships. The woman is always finding something wrong with the man. The man is always finding something wrong with the woman, because they're still looking through the lens of that place where they were hurt, that time where they were stuck in that situation.
Yeah, I heard, I was just for a few seconds listening to a Clubhouse relationship conversation, and I heard a gentleman say, like, I don't want to work out or live out the sentence of the last guy you were with, talking to basically whatever a relationship he was getting into, and he felt like he had to do the sentence for someone else. How does someone know that they are dealing with the unhealed child, or the unhealed part of themselves?
So if people are really authentic, and I heard that come up because I was watching the other authors, when people really acknowledge where they are, normally they know, right? So that would be the person who would finally sit down and they're like, yeah, I think I overreacted. Like that was too much. It didn't warrant that reaction from me. People really sit down, but what happens is people, again, they keep themselves busy. So I notice when I work with people, I ask them questions like, what's the first thing you do when you go home? If they tell me they pop on the TV, they turn on the music, it's because most of the time they don't want to be left alone with their own thoughts and those things that they're working over to hide.
Yeah. So good. And so once someone reads your chapter in Pearls, and again, those are coming in and out, you're here on Amazon Live. We're featuring co-authors of the new book collaboration. It's not available on Amazon yet, but you want to grab the pre-order from any of your favorite co-authors you're hearing today. But we're here with LTomay Varlack-Butler, The Death of Cinderella. Let's sort the situation out. That's her chapter. So welcome to all those that are here. Other things you want readers to walk away with once they have read your chapter?
Well, you said it earlier. One of the things I definitely want them to walk away with is the reality that we can live in a fantasy. We can go through life and live out a fantasy. We can meet somebody and just have this whole image in our mind of what we think this relationship is or what it should look like. And it's really a fantasy. And also to be able to make a commitment to counter the narratives that cause us to not see our true selves. Or be afraid to embrace ourselves, because we're not perfect, but we're perfectly flawed, right? And that's the one thing I want people to walk away with, to really become that change that they want to see, but they have to sit with themselves and know themselves in order to do that.
Yeah. In the introduction of Pearls, I talk about just a little bit about how there are so many different variations of pearls, and so many, there are hues and colors, and even the pricing, you can get very inexpensive pearls to you can get the Tiffany set that's $25,000, and just the variety of pearls. And there's another chapter in the book that one of the other co-authors talks about really how a pearl is created, which is Natalie Bryan. She's coming up a little bit later, of that friction and that irritant in life that has kind of polished. And so I feel like you all's chapters are really kind of a great combination of that. Sometimes we want to shy away from these things, but they are really what have polished and help us to be who we are today if we lean into it. Would you have that same assessment?
Yes, I definitely do, because it's important that we do face history and not keep saying it's just, yes, it's behind us, but we repeat it when we don't face it and walk away with the lessons that we need to move forward in victory.
Yeah. So good. So good. So how can people connect with you? How can they work with you? Because I know you do a lot of speaking. So we'd love to hear the type of speaking that you do, and then how can people work with you and connect with you?
So I definitely do a lot of speaking around survivors of domestic violence, sexual harm, but I also do a lot of speaking around restorative justice. I do training in restorative justice. I work with DEI folk, but you can catch me at brandmebeautifulinc.com, and you can contact me there. I'm on social media, LTomay Varlack-Butler. You'll find me on LinkedIn. I'm everywhere. And if you Google me, you'll be able to contact me.
All right. There you go. There you go. And you've been on your Facebook been keeping us up along your travels and your journeys. Any ahas that you had when you went to Africa? Any, I know there was probably tons. Anyone, the kind of final note you would leave with us that was just a beautiful moment you want to share?
Well, the aha moment was me being in a space with some women from South Africa, and they asked me, well, like, where are you from? And I said, I'm from Stolen and from everywhere, right? I said, because I'm the descendant of the formerly enslaved. So I really don't know where I'm from, right? I can be from anywhere in South Africa or Ghana, anywhere. And they said to me, you are home. This is your home. And for me, that was the aha moment that we can create home place wherever we choose to.
Yeah.
And so that was the aha moment for me. That I'm home. Wherever I'm greeted and welcomed, I'm home.
There we go. Well, thank you so much. So good to be able to chat with you in between your travels, and to more importantly have this such a transformational, powerful chapter. It is really, really a very powerful chapter. And thank you for being transparent and sharing. So I know that wasn't, per se the easiest thing, that like sipping lemonade, and probably maybe when you wrote some things, you might have looked back and was like, ooh, did I mean to write that? Did I mean to submit that? And so thank you, because I know that it is going to be transformative for our readers. So you all will have to get pearls to hear what I'm talking about. All right. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you. Bye, Sharvette.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful. We're keeping it moving here. We've got a few more authors that we're going to chat with, and talk to you about. And so we're moving into our next author spotlight with Penny McPherson. And we're excited for you all to meet her and hear more about her. Here we go. Let's get ready to talk. All right. We are so excited and glad that you are hanging out here with us on Amazon Live as we continue to talk about this brand new book collaboration, Pearls, Wisdom and Advice from Emerging Women Leaders. And we're just letting you have a little taste test and a little sample as we chat with our co-authors. And so coming up to the mic live now, we have Penny McPherson joining us. Hello, Penny. Welcome.
Hello. How are you, Sharvette?
I am doing well. We are so excited to have you as a co-author in this book collaboration, Pearls. And so certainly want to make sure that our viewers know a little bit about you. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Certainly. I am Penny, also known as Plant-Based Penny. And so after 34 years of leading in corporate America, I was led to move abroad and practice all things plant-based, holistic education, natural health. And what I do is I use my platform and my testimony to help people move from problems to progress with plant-based solutions. And that's through consultation and through speaking engagements.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. And so the writing process, your chapter, Riding the Waves of Wellness, certainly very fitting. What was it like kind of getting your thoughts together about what you wanted to deliver in this chapter of Pearls?
That's a really good question. And so I'm a creative storyteller and I love to speak. And so what I did was, one of the presentations that was so well received, I took that as a general outline and I used that to share my transformation. And Riding the Waves to Wellness in the chapter, I had to shut myself in the office. I did a lot of rewriting, and sometimes I was a little overwhelmed, but it was so important that I finished it. And so I was so happy with that.
All right. Well, I certainly enjoy reading that chapter. And so there's an acronym that you reference in your chapter. Let's give a little bit of an appetizer, a sampler about that part of the book.
Yes, very excited that this acronym was dropped in my spirit specifically for this book. And there are three things that will help people move from problems to progress. And the acronym is SOW, S-O-W. And so the S stands for societal norms and breaking those. The O stands for original foods, how to incorporate those. And the W stands for wellness as a priority and how to make that the number one thing. And so it's an opportunity. It's a true story. I kind of weave my story in with the story of the transformation and with the tips from SOW. And so it's really a great opportunity for the story and the transformation to come together.
Yes. And as someone who cannot swim, I certainly identify with your story. So
yes, I almost died in the story. Okay, it's a good story. It's a happy story with a good ending. I'm still here. So
cliffhanger there. So you all got to pick up your copy of Pearls. You can pre-order it from Penny. So if you're following her, connecting with her on social media, definitely pick up your pre-order copy. So it'll be hot off the press. And so certainly kind of tying into SOW, there was another sentence that jumped out at me as I was reading through your chapter. And one thing you said was that I treated my wellness education as seriously as my college education. And, most people pay, that's one of their highest bills, their, college tuition, and one of the big milestones of their lives. And so why is it so important that we put, our wellness and learning about what to do at the forefront of our lives?
That's a really great question. We have to be our own best health advocate because no one is going to care about you more than you should care about you.
So true.
And so it has to be the priority. And the chapter talks about tangible tools that people can use, tangible tools mixed in with life lessons. And it's so very important that we use this to ride the waves of life.
Yeah. And then there was another great soundbite, if you will. You said, I ignored the waves of change in unchecked stress. So I'm sure that there are viewers and there are potential future readers that might kind of recognize like, hey, we all experience stress, but it just kind of jumped out like that unchecked stress. Oh my goodness. Talk about that.
So very important because a lot of people think that wellness is all about eating this and not eating that, but the holistic education and the experience, because I went through and I got sick and I was able to get from sick to success. And it's holistic. It's not just what we're putting in our mouth, what we're consuming by eating, but what consumes us as individuals, because that is going to affect every chronic disease that people have. have, and it's also going to promote wellness or sickness. And so it talks about riding the waves of wellness. And so specifically regarding that, sometimes we may feel overcome by the waves, but after you read this chapter, it's my hope that you will be an overcomer.
All right, there you go. There you go. How can people connect with you online and also work with you?
Certainly, I welcome people reaching out, and they may contact me on social media, Instagram and Facebook. It's Plant-Based Penny Life. And my website is also Plant-Based Penny Life. Just keeping it easy and simple for you. And I'm available free one-on-one consultations and speaking engagements.
Awesome. And you have some great reels and stories. So you're one of those fun people to follow. And as our kind of like final thoughts, what are things that you want people to walk away with after they have read your chapter in Pearls? What do you want them to walk away with after reading Riding the Waves of Wellness?
Certainly. After you read that chapter, it's me sharing and being a little vulnerable about what happened with me. And it's an entertaining story, but I want people to walk away with knowing that the acronym SO and those tips and strategies can help you improve your health, enhance your health, and promote wellness altogether. And also to take the information and share it with others, because we can definitely not just be overcome, but be overcomers. And that's what Riding the Waves of Wellness is all about.
All right. We are continuing our co-author spotlight for this new book collaboration, my fourth book collaboration, Pearls. And I'm excited to have back with me in this project, Carmen Jimenez-Pride. Let me bring her up into the Amazon Live studio. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey.
I'm so excited to have you as a co-author in Pearls. You were a co-author in Pursue, our last book, which is available here on Amazon, those that are watching and listening with us. But I'd love to just have our new audience who might not know you learn a little bit more about you. So let us know a little bit about who you are.
Well, my name is Carmen Jimenez-Pride, and I am the baddest, clinical social worker, registered play therapist in the world.
There you go.
I've had to start, I had to take some time to hold on to that. I realized who I was. So I'm a clinical social worker. I'm a registered play therapist. I'm an author, as you can tell, because I'm with the beautiful Sharvette Mitchell on this project. And I'm a business coach, but I do coaching with a twist. I do coaching that focuses on your mental health and business. And I also work with our babies, our little people, and then their parents and adults.
Wow. And you have a number of other books under your belt, even here on Amazon. Like, do you even know the total anymore? You probably lost count.
Uh-oh.
You all
questions. It's a good number. It's a good
number. And so we have a few of them linked here down below on Amazon Live. But love for you to just share a little bit about your chapter in Pearls. Beautiful, brilliant, and broken. What was your process like for writing this chapter?
Well, I got to say, this was the hardest one to write.
Oh, wow.
I have read a couple of chapters, but this one was a little bit harder. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to connect that beautiful, brilliant, and broken together, because a lot of us don't like to say we're broken. We can appear a certain way, we can appear all together, but we all are broken. That doesn't mean that we're not put back together, but we have things that has broken us down. We have thoughts that are broken. So I wanted to really capture how those three connect, being beautiful, being brilliant, and then having those broken pieces of who we are.
Pearls of knowledge and wisdom being
Yes.
dropped. So I love in your chapter, there was a line that kind of like just jumped out at me where you know, at one point in time, you made a decision to step out of your comfort zone to change the trajectory, you know, of the field that you're in. And so, you know, stepping out of your comfort zone, especially, you know, for somebody that identifies with being beautiful, being brilliant, and then there's this brokenness, if people are scared and afraid to step out of their comfort zone, any advice or guidance, or kind of just talk to us about that part of the chapter?
That part came where I'm a play therapist, and I got tired of getting denied in the world of play therapy. So when I say that, it's like conferences. Like I have these amazing conference presentations. I want to get out and educate and speak to the people.
Yeah.
I kept getting denied, and then not having a seat at the table for like different trainings and different opportunities. So one night I just got tired, and I woke up in the middle of the night and said that I'm going to create my own table.
Yeah.
And it's not your normal table. This is a banquet table. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to have an opportunity not only for myself, but for other people to come and to present and to talk about the things that they want to talk about, and then to help others. So the Diversity in Play Therapy Summit was created. So I stepped out of my comfort zone because I don't want to be blackballed from the world of play therapy.
Right.
I don't step on anybody's toes, but it's time to look at things a little bit different because everybody belongs at the table.
Absolutely.
Everybody has knowledge. Everybody should have an opportunity to present that knowledge. And that's where the summit came about. And then we do more than the summit. Like we help people pay for their application fees to become a play therapist. We help with consultation and supervision. Throughout trainings through the year, we give opportunities for scholarships. So it's a lot more than just once a year you see us. No, we're all year round, and we're working towards becoming a nonprofit to help even more people.
Wow, powerful. All because you stepped out of your comfort zone. Yeah. And so viewers and listeners and those that are checking us out, you can read more about that in Pearls. Subtitle, Wisdom and Advice from Emerging Women Leaders. So certainly Cameron is dropping nuggets here. There's another section of the book that I love where you have probably about 6 or 7 I have learned statements. And I'll just share a couple of them. I have learned that I can make mistakes, forgive myself, and move forward. I have learned to forgive myself and others. And then there are more that you share in that section. Talk about that kind of I have learned section.
So I think in all the experiences that we have in life, we get lessons from it. And sometimes we don't want to put those lessons out there. We don't want to tell people like, I've been nasty to people before. Wow. And I have made poor decisions. So I've learned based on those experiences that I can forgive myself and I can forgive others and I can move forward. So it's just those pearls that I would say that when you address your mental health, you address your personal stuff, you can say those things and you can move forward from them.
So well said. And so what else would you have people, walk away with after they read, your chapter in Pearls, Beautiful, Brilliant, and Broken? What do you want the reader to walk away with?
That beauty is more than skin.
Yeah.
That beauty is your personality. Beauty is your character. Beauty is how you show up in the world, not just skin deep, because we can cover it up.
Oh, yeah.
I got my red lip on. If you can see it.
Catch the red lip.
My red lip gives me a little bit of power, but you never know what's going on behind that. So we can present as beautiful, but let's be beautiful in other areas as well. Beautiful how we treat people. Beautiful how we feel about ourselves. Beautiful how we just show up in the world. So that's one thing. And then the second one, which is the biggest thing, is that our life experiences do not define who we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Sit with that. Unpack that. So good. We are so glad that you are a contributor in Pearls and dropping these nuggets and pearls of wisdom. listen, people, you can pre-order from Carmen. So if you're connected to her, if you're watching, you're listening, you're a fan, you're a raving fan, you're like, hey, I'm following Carmen, you can pre-order from her. Just check out her connection points. Matter of fact, while people are watching and viewing, how can they connect with you on social media and just keep up with you?
So across all social media platforms, it's Pride LCSW. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of them, Pride LCSW.
All right. And are you accepting clients, therapy clients?
I am. Not only I'm accepting clients for therapy, but I'm also accepting clients for business coaching or just coaching to get you to the next step in your career or reaching your goals.
Great. And where should they go to sign up and connect with that?
CarmenPride.com.
All right. Well, Carmen, thank you for being here with us in our Amazon Live, our author spotlight, co-author spotlight in this pre-order launching phase. And we're just going to keep our eye out on you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Let's get ready for our next co-author spotlight. All right. I am telling you, Carmen knocked it out the park. All right. Listen, we are here. We have the last co-author that is joining us. She is in the virtual green room. Thank you to those that have watched for the entire, it'll be 2 hours by the time you finish watching. And thank you for those that might have just popped in and out. It is okay. We appreciate you. Thank you for this platform, Amazon Live. Again, we want to remind you that we do have book collaborations available for you to purchase now. Just look down below if you're on Amazon. So our first book collaboration produced by Mitchell Productions, Propel. This is great if you are a woman in business or you are wanting to be in business and you're trying to figure out how do I get like that helicopter? How do I get some wind under me? This is perfect. This book collaboration is perfect. Check it out down below on Amazon. Then our second book collaboration, Pour. Again, all of these feature clients of Mitchell Productions, women. And this book is all about who poured into you to help you get where you're going, or how are you pouring into other people. This is an amazing book collaboration. And then the most recent book collaboration, Pursue, which again is available down below on Amazon. And this is all about chasing your goals and running after your dreams and visions in business, life, and leadership. And this is a recommended summer reading for you. Again, all produced by Mitchell Productions. I am Sharvette Mitchell. I am your lovely host today, also the owner of Mitchell Productions and lead marketing consultant. And we work with entrepreneurs, small businesses, all about gaining more visibility and focusing on their marketing and their authority and their visual branding. One of the things that we do is we produce book collaborations in partnership with clients, primarily through our Platform Builder program. But if you're interested in saying, how can I be in a book collaboration? Go ahead and reach out to us. We do have an opportunity for our next collaboration to feature you. All right. You know what happens when there's a relay race? You know, like the Olympics, and there's like four people, right? You always make sure the anchor is strong. Why? Because the anchor has to bring it home. So that's what we have going on here. Shout out to Val, who just left the stage. She's commenting. Congratulations, ladies. Coming up to the mic, live here on Amazon Live, we have Natalie Bryan joining us. Hey, Natalie. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey, how are you doing this morning? Well, afternoon now.
I am doing well. Thank you for being a strong anchor, bringing this on home for us here. Being a part of this book collaboration, Pearls, your chapter, Diamonds from Pearls. Yeah. That's the title of your chapter in this book. But you've got several other books under your belt. So tell us about the books that you already have and if they're available on Amazon.
Oh, yeah, they are available on Amazon. I started out with Body Talk a few years ago, and that was just talking about our bodies in this world and how we coming in for self-acceptance. And I spoke about in my chapter about being fat and Black and told that I wouldn't fit into arena of success and how that looked from beginning to end. Another is I signed my own permission slip, and I signed my own permission slip to walk away from unhealthy circumstances, walk away from an unhealthy marriage, and walk into the things that were healthy and whole for me.
All right, snaps, which is a great segue. So now I want you to talk about like who you are, your credentials, and all the things that you are working on and got your hands in.
Yes, my name is Natalie Bryan. I am a licensed clinical social worker here in the lovely state of Georgia and South Carolina, actually. And I own Restoring Harmony Counseling and Consulting. And I am the founder of Pearl, which I was very excited about to hear about the name, which the acronym stands for Providing Education and Advocacy to Rebuild Lives. We have been doing training in our local community on things that stem from child sexual abuse, domestic violence. And recently we had our Mentally Wealthy Summit where we focused in for National Minority Mental Health Month, which is July. We focused in on the stigmas of mental health in our community and allowing access to services in our community with representation.
Yes. How was that event?
It was awesome. When I tell you the people showed up, I was floored myself because this was my very first event I did alone. So I didn't think the people were going to show up, but the people showed up. We had over 20 vendors. We had over 95 people in the building.
Yes.
A panel of 4, and we had a keynote speaker, Dr. Adrian Davis, and my panel of therapists. And I'm so happy it went so well. We had several therapists talk about participating for panels next year. So I'm very excited. For the first go, I felt like, oh man, I did.
Listen, you knocked it out of the park. From the pictures I see, you knocked it out of the park. And I'm seeing some notes here on Amazon. Amazon customer said, congratulations. Amazon customer said, great job, ladies. So thank you for those again on Amazon commenting. We see you as well. Wonderful, wonderful. And again, the pictures looked amazing. And so let's talk about your writing process for this chapter, Pearl. So when I said, hey, the book is going to be called Pearls, which, you know, that's like, oh, that aligns with the name of your organization. How did you decide what to write about?
You know what? It was a little bit tough for me in the beginning because although I do a lot of things that are public, I'm very okay with being in the back. So it takes me a lot to kind of be like, okay, I'm always going to be the helper in the background. So for me, I was like, man, what could I give women? But you know what? I realized that I have stepped into arenas in business and just having diverse experiences in different types of businesses that I felt like, man, having these nuggets, especially about our mental health in business is important. And so when I came from it, I took a perspective of, okay, what would I have wanted someone to tell me? What would I have wanted someone to hold their hand out and be like, hey, Natalie, this is the way to go, or these are the things to think about. And that's where I came from with it.
Yeah. And, you know, I love that you definitely have your hands in the therapy world, social work world, but also real estate and, you know, some other things that you're doing. And so your chapter is really geared towards that, either that woman in business or aspiring woman in business. And so I love one of the first sentences that's near the beginning of your chapter. You say, I thought about the unusual way precious stones come into existence.
Yes.
One being under immense pressure.
Yes.
And the other being created from an irritant that is needed to protect itself from.
Yes.
That was like, whoa.
I know.
When I read that, I was like, whoa, right there. That sentence right there, we could unpack for like the next hour.
Yes. That was, you know, a lot of times people don't recognize that a pearl stems from that mollusk being agitated.
Yes.
And sometimes we have to be the agitators in our communities to create these wonderful, precious stones, pearls, whatever valuable gem, to be able to pass that on from generation to generation, or who we're mentoring, or the people that we have around us. Because if I don't think life would be as awesome as it is without people agitating and making change for us to be able to come along and say, here's a platform, here's a space. You know, I love what Carmen said, that she had to create a table. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, wonderful for me, Carmen is in my community, so I get to be there watching the table created. But the what I love about that is that she did create a table for other play therapists of color to come in. And I can understand sometimes you do feel like you're hitting a brick wall. You're not really moving in the momentum that you would like to move. And so having people in places that have started agitating the water so that we're able to step in and make change and open up other doors, that's what we're here for. That's what this is about.
Yes. Challenging the status quo, agitating. And I love that you actually, how you even just said that people might not think about creating change. There's going to be an agitation. There's going to be some irritant. And so you go on to say, and I'm quoting from your chapter, again, those that are just coming on in, we're chatting with Natalie Bryan. She's the anchor in this relay race. She is our last author that we're featuring today. We will have been on for 2 hours now. It's been flying by. It's been amazing. Her chapter, Diamonds from Pearls. So this is a quote from your chapter. And you say, I would like to share some things you as a business owner or budding entrepreneur may face that may not have been considered. The mental health aspect of these things that could not only impact your bottom line, but literally your health. And so you are really calling out, hey, mental health, an entrepreneur. I know marketing, that's, marketing, you got your accounting, you got, all of these things you have to do as a small business owner, but you call out, hey, your mental health, like you got to pay attention to this. So talk about that. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that sometimes we step out and we were like, hey, I know how to do this, or I can do this. And, but we don't take into account that we have to change our mindset from employee to business owner.
Yes.
And if we're not focused on doing things in the right way, we can find ourselves in a place of detriment, of being broke, of being sued, of closing. They say most businesses close within the first 5 years. That's because the foundation has not been set. You didn't find the right mentorship. You didn't access even some free resources in your community, like learning through the SBA and through organizations, your local chambers of commerces, or different resources in your community that focus in on small businesses. Even cities now are in on helping to get businesses up and going in the proper way, because they do want to see success, because they understand that helps to bolster economy. So if your mindset isn't in the right place to say, okay, while I understand my concept, while I know what I want to see, I don't know how to exactly execute. I said to someone yesterday, potential is not promise. We can always see the promise, but we're in a place of potential. But that road to get to the promise may not be so clear or easy. But if there are tools along the way to help us navigate that, then we will see success.
We will see success. So well said. Veronica said, how much is the book? It's available in pre-order and it's $20 plus shipping. So thank you so much. And you can purchase from your favorite co-author that has been tagged and is all over our social media. So, and what's so interesting, I think, about the conversation around mental health for entrepreneurs and that shift of employee to employer, and or self-employed, is that there are mental health things that come about that you hadn't experienced before. So I'll give an example, and I think that there's a level of, for instance, there's a level of rejection that you haven't experienced before as an employee. Prime example, and a lot of times that may be social media, plays into that. You can be on social media doing Facebook Lives or Amazon Lives or doing, all this, and you're putting your heart out there about how you can help people with whatever it is. And then you see people on all of your lives and they commenting and but they won't buy a book, or they go work with someone else. That's a level of rejection that you haven't experienced as an employee that entrepreneurs and small businesses in particular, and even if you're going after government contracts or going after corporate contracts, there's still level of rejection that you haven't experienced. What are the mental health impacts around that?
Yeah, it really is having to have a mindset of tenacity that you're not going to always fit in everybody's wheelhouse, and that your audience is your audience. And now your job is to gain access and learn how to engage your audience, and you're not palatable for everyone. And that's why there can be a million different types of bread on the bread aisle besides Wonder. You know, Wonder is there. Wonder was the first, probably biggest one out there, and then everyone else came. However, Wonder is still a leading bread seller. So it doesn't mean that what you have, your gifting, your talent, your specialty, isn't needed. It is, do I have the tenacity to stay here and work through until I reach that level of success? And if I reach or hit barriers, am I able to pivot my mindset to reach the goals I'm trying to attain?
There you have it. Natalie Bryan, Diamonds from Pearls, her chapter in the book collaboration Pearls, subtitle Wisdom and Advice from Emerging Women Leaders. Natalie, a final comment around what you are wanting people to walk away with once they have read your chapter.
What I want people to walk away with is that we're not always looked at as procurers of gemstones and pearls and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
People don't recognize our value, but we have to recognize our value. And we teach people how to treat us. And so walking into this world of entrepreneurship and into this world of being an author, a trainer, an educator, a therapist, whatever specialty you face in, we hold value. We're the expert in our field. We're creating that value for others. We have to teach people how to respect, understand, learn about that value, and really come to a place of identifying like, hey, that is a nugget, that is a diamond, that is a pearl, that is something that I need for me.
Yeah. All right. How can people connect with you, work with you, all those good things?
Okay, you can go to my website for therapy at www.restoringharmony.com. For Pearl, you can find me at www.wearepearl.org.
All right, there you go. Thank you again for being an amazing anchor in this relay race. We worked it out, and you did an awesome job. So thank you so much, Natalie Bryan, for all your transformational work that you're doing in the community and for all of us. So
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Listen, that's it. We started at 10 a.m. Eastern. Thank you again for all those that have been here the whole entire time. Those that have popped in and out, we appreciate you just as much. This, wherever you are watching, it will remain up. It will remain available. So if you have a friend or a colleague or a business bestie or whatever and say, hey, you need to check this out, check these authors out, in and of their own right, the work that they do, the type of businesses that they have, the type of organizations that they have, is definitely something you want to tap into and follow and connect with. And then you can pre-order your copy of Pearls from any of your favorite co-authors. I do have a chapter in the book myself. And so you can pre-order there. And then I remind you, if you're on Amazon, down below, you will see our previous book collaborations that we have available that are linked down below that you can take part in. It is a wrap. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Pat. She's still been hanging out in the green room. This has been amazing. You saw her earlier. Got to shout out my mom. Awesome spotlight for all of the authors. We appreciate you. Thank you for those that are hung out and are checking this out on YouTube as well. Like our channel, subscribe to our channel if you like this content, and get more notifications. All right. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. and leave you with our last thought of make sure you go ahead and pre-order Pearls.
The book collaboration, Pearls, is a collection of advice and guidance for women who want to excel in various areas of their life, career, and business. In this engaging combination of intimate stories, thought-provoking guidance, strategic advice, and practical tips, 11 emerging leaders share pearls of wisdom. By the time you finish reading Pearls, you'll walk away with a collection of invisible pearl necklaces that will make you feel empowered. You will have a renewed sense of direction and confidence to face what's next for you. Order your copy of Pearls today.